and we got something very special for you right now. Fans of horror movies know his face, if not remember his name right off the bat. Michael Berryman is joining us right now. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's a pleasure to be on the air with you.
It's an honor to talk with you. You've been in so many incredible horror movies throughout the years. Of course, The Hills Have Eyes is a big standout. What is your favorite story to tell about your career?
How I got started, actually. I mean, there's a lot of moments working with all kinds of wonderful people, but it never would have happened without the blessings and the opportunity by a gentleman named George Powell. I had left college in 1972, didn't quite know what to do, and, boy, I'm rhyming, oh my God. I wanted to be a veterinarian, ran out of money, realized that the ends of my fingers, because of my birth defects, were not very good at, fixing critters, so I figured I would be looking for a new career. And long story short, I decided I was going to homestead in Alaska and work with nature conservation or to do something, maybe photography, something along those lines, maybe on a fishing boat, who knows. So I was getting ready to go to Alaska, and I was in Venice Beach, California, my hometown, and I ran into a guy. He walked up to me, and he put his hands up like he's making a frame, and he's a very nice gentleman. I was at an antique store. Actually, it was owned by his daughter, and he said to me, "Pardon me, are you an actor?" And I said, "No, I am not an actor. Who are you?" And he said, "My name is George Powell." And then I said, "Do you know who you are? You produced the War of the Worlds, the
Right.
Time Machine, the Journey to the Center of the Earth." And he patted my hand and he said, "Here's my card. Call my office. I just want you to be in my movie. You have the perfect look for the coroner in a movie called Doc Savage." And I called his office a few days later, and I went to a meeting. And the next thing I knew, I was working with Ron Ely at Harold Lloyd's estate. And I worked one day, had a Taft-Hartley 2-day guarantee so I could get in the Screen Actors Guild Union. And I had $400 in my pocket after that. And I said, I can put this towards some, supplies for my truck so I could drive to Alaska. I didn't want to have more attention brought to myself, having a visual difference as a kid, birth defects, etc. And I remembered a promise I made to George, which was, if anybody ever asks the question, you tell them George Powell discovered you. So I've always kept that promise to George. And I would not have this conversation with you now because of George. But ironically, my second job came through George, who had a casting director whom I never met. And that was Michael Fenton and Gene Feinberg. And they called me and they said, "Would you come down to Culver Studios and have a meeting with Michael Douglas, Joel Douglas, Saul Zaentz, Milos Forman, and Jack Nicholson?" And I said, "Yes." What's the address? And I went, and we had a meeting, and they told me they were going to do a movie called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And there was Jack, and so we had a lovely conversation, and I said, "I guess you're going to pick me. I don't have any speaking lines, but you slap a couple of lobotomy scars on my forehead, and I've got the fissures in my skull from a real craniectomy. I could be a lobotomy patient." And that's what happened.
Wow. Now let's talk about the working with Wes Craven. Of course, you became kind of iconic in the horror movie genre for your performance in The Hills Have Eyes.
Absolutely. Wes is a wonderful, wonderful dear friend. And actually, after I did Cuckoo's Nest, we did Hills Have Eyes. So I went to a meeting with Peter Locke, our producer, and Wes Craven, and I think it was in, doesn't matter where it was, somewhere in L.A. And he was just very calm, intelligent, good sense of humor, witty, knew what he wanted to do as far as how to tell the story. And he explained the backstory of the McBean family. And we went out to the desert and shot this film on 16 millimeter with very almost no budget. And the gal who played Brenda, the blonde, Susan Lanier, we've been friends for 45 years. Again, what you do as an actor or stage or anywhere in the arts or conventions, it's one big happy family. And always happy. But it was a very physical film. It was hot in the daytime, cold at night, a lot of running, jumping, chasing, and Wes just knew how to keep his finger on the pulse, or actually on the jugular, because it's a very tight film.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing that I would change or delete or add to it, and it was such a success. It pushed my career to where I could get more work, because they put me on the poster. I was the poster boy, so that was absolutely a wonderful gift from Peter and Wes. So we actually went to a drive-in in Los Angeles with the boys, Peter and Wes, and I was kind of new at this. Of course, I'd worked for 4 months on Cuckoo's Nest, learned a lot about cinematography and the hands-on, what you need to do to give the director what they require for a scene. So we're in a drive-in at night, of course, and they thought it would be delightful if I dressed up like Pluto. So, of course, I said, "Oh, sure, man, what do you say?" So I'm dressed up like Pluto. We're watching the movie. About halfway through, we're attacking the family, and Wes says, "Hey, Michael, here." He opens the side door to the van, and he says, "Well, go run around and scare people. Bang on some car windows and wave that knife." I had the rubber knife. I didn't have the real knife. And I go, "Okay, sure, boss, you bet." So I started doing that, and all of a sudden, this really large man gets out of his car with a baseball bat, and he's not happy with me. And I go, "Hey, what's up, man?" He goes, "You scared my girlfriend, you son of a bitch. I'm going to smash your skull in."
Oh, wow.
And my jaw dropped, and I said, "Why? Why am I still standing here?" So I turned around and started running. I used to be a long-distance runner, and he was a big guy. I figured, the rubber knife wasn't going to help me, so I had to, feet don't fail me now. So I had to, I'm running away from this guy, and then I realized I have to find out where the van's parked. Because every car I looked at, people are staring, at the screen, terrified, and I'm trying to find, and I'm terrified. This guy's chasing me with a baseball bat. He's going to smash my skull in. So pretty soon I see headlights, and the van pulls up. Peter Locke, my producer's driving. Wes Craven opens the side door, reaches his hand out, and he says, "Grab my hand." And I did, and we hightailed it out of there. Nobody spoke.
Wow.
We went to a diner. We sat down. Nobody's talking. We're kind of looking at one another, and all of a sudden, I think Barry Kahn goes, "What just happened?" And we all agreed that we had a hit.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That was the beginning of an iconic film.
Michael Berryman, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and of course, a tremendous career that you've had and continued success, sir.
Well, thank you, and just FYI, where are you located again?
We're in Kewanee, Illinois.
Illinois, all right. So get out the warm jackets, yes.
Yes, indeed.
And sometime around spring, I'll be announcing on my Facebook page. And my Facebook page is just the headshot where I'm kind of grimacing in a little square. Anyway, I'm almost about halfway done with my autobiography, so I'll be putting the word out around early spring, letting people know when it'll be released. And it's from my earliest first memory straight on through to pretty much to today, and it's very honest. It reads real well, and and you get old, and then you got to tell your story to the youngins.
Well, I can't wait, sir. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.
Have a great day. Be warm.